It was a dreary Thursday afternoon in Washington, D.C. The skies were overcast, and a somber mood enveloped the city. Inside a sleek black SUV, President-elect Donald Trump sat Saturday in silence. Dressed in a black suit, he was en route to a close friend's funeral, a solemn occasion that had significantly pared down his usual entourage. The atmosphere inside the vehicle was heavy, mirroring the overcast skies above. Meanwhile, at a traffic checkpoint on the outskirts of the city, Officer Mark Hall, a seasoned but occasionally overzealous police officer in his late 30s, was keeping a vigilant watch. His sharp eyes scanned every passing vehicle for anything suspicious. When the black SUV with its tinted windows and careful, almost deliberate speed caught his attention, his instincts kicked in. Without hesitation, he activated his patrol car's lights and siren, signaling the vehicle to pull over. The SUV complied, rolling to a gentle stop by the roadside. Officer Hall stepped out of his patrol car with purpose, his hand instinctively resting on the hilt of his holstered firearm. Though this was standard practice, it added a layer of tension to the unfolding situation. As he approached the vehicle, he tapped on the driver's side window. It rolled down, revealing a composed but slightly puzzled driver. "License and registration," Officer Hall demanded, his tone firm. His eyes flickered past the driver, catching a glimpse of the man seated in the back, a man whose presence was both commanding and familiar. The driver, Samuel, a professional and calm individual, complied immediately. "May I ask why we've been pulled over, officer?" he inquired politely. Officer Hall's tone sharpened. "Your vehicle matches the description of one involved in a nearby robbery. Step out of the car, all of you." Before Samuel could respond, the back door of the SUV opened. Donald Trump stepped out, his towering frame and unmistakable presence immediately recognizable. Officer Hall's eyes widened in shock, his hand reflexively twitching near his holster. The tension in the air was palpable. "Officer," Trump said, his voice steady and deliberate, "I don't know what this is about, but I'm on my way to a funeral. This is clearly a misunderstanding." Mark hesitated, glancing at the documents in his hand. The name on it and the face before him were undeniably a match. Yet, his pride and sense of authority wouldn't allow him to back down so easily. I need you to stay right here while I run these details," Mark said curtly before retreating to his patrol car. Trump sighed, shaking his head in disbelief. "Unbelievable," he muttered under his breath. Samuel offered a reassuring look, but it was clear that Trump's patience was wearing thin. Inside his patrol car, Mark punched the vehicle's details into the computer. His heart sank as the results came back clean. Just as he was about to return to the SUV, his radio crackled to life. "Oh, what's your status? We've got reports of an armed robbery suspect in a black sedan, not an SUV." Mark's grip tightened on the radio. He had made a significant mistake. Stepping out of his car, the first cold drops of rain began to fall, mirroring the chill running through him. "You're free to go," Mark said stiffly, avoiding Trump's gaze. As Trump prepared to get back into the SUV, he paused and looked directly at the officers. "You've wasted my time," he said firmly. "I hope you learn to think before acting next time." With that, the SUV pulled away, leaving Mark standing in the rain, feeling the weight of his hasty decision. The next morning, Mark's actions were the talk of the precinct. Word of his unnecessary stop had spread quickly, and his superiors were far from pleased. Chief Angela Rodriguez called him into her office, her sharp gaze cutting through him as he stepped inside. "Mark, what were you thinking?" she began. "Do you realize who you pulled over yesterday? This isn't just about a former president. It's about exercising better judgment." Mark shifted uncomfortably, but remained silent. Chief Rodriguez continued, her voice firm. "You're on administrative review until we'd assessed the situation. You're off patrol duty." Mark nodded, swallowing his frustration. He returned home that evening, where the weight of his actions began to sink in. His wife, Emily, tried to console him, but even her kind words couldn't erase his sense of failure. Meanwhile, Trump's team decided not to let the incident fade quietly. A passerby had recorded a short clip of the stop, and it quickly went viral online. News outlets picked up the story, framing it as a glaring misuse of police authority. Commentators debated the incident, with some calling for better police training and others defending Mark's intentions. The pressure on Mark mounted as his phone buzzed incessantly with messages of support. Others scathing. Emily urged him to stay offline, but curiosity got the better of him. He read the comments, each one cutting deeper than the last. Amid the chaos, Trump's spokesperson released a measured statement. While Mr. Trump was inconvenienced He believes this incident highlights the importance of police accountability and the need for better training to prevent such mistakes in the future. The statement only added fuel to the fire. Mark's review hearing was scheduled for the following week. Until then, he was left in limbo, grappling with the fallout of his actions. For Mark, the days felt endless, each one heavier than the last. The day of the review finally arrived. The hearing was held in a stark conference room at the precinct. Mark Saturday at the end of a long table, facing a panel of senior officers, including Chief Rodriguez. They reviewed the incident in detail, dissecting every decision he had made that day. Officer Hall, one of the panel members, began. You've been a valued member of this department for over a decade. This incident, while unfortunate, appears to stem from a lapse in judgment rather than malice. However, we need to determine how to proceed. Before the panel could deliver their verdict, the door unexpectedly opened. To everyone's surprise, Donald Trump himself walked in. The room fell silent as he approached the table. I hope I'm not interrupting, Trump said, his tone lighter than expected. The panel exchanged glances but allowed him to speak. I had time to think about what happened, Trump began. While it was inconvenient, I've also considered the pressure these officers face daily. Mistakes happen. What matters is how we learn from them. Turning to Mark, he continued, Officer Hall, you made an error, but I believe in second chances. Let's use this as an opportunity to improve, not to tear someone down. The panel deliberated briefly before delivering their decision. Mark will retain his position, but undergo additional training and a probationary period. Trump's unexpected intervention had turned the tide, offering Mark a path to redemption. As Trump left the precinct, Mark approached him hesitantly. Thank you, sir. I won't forget this. Trump nodded. Just do better next time. The encounter left Mark with a renewed sense of purpose. He returned to duty with a clearer understanding of his responsibilities, determined to earn back the trust he had nearly lost. That experience, though harrowing, became a turning point in his career, a lesson in humility and accountability. Thank you for watching till the end. I hope you enjoyed the story. If you did, don't hesitate to like the video and share it with your friends, to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell for more fascinating stories. Have a nice day.